What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. We have 1.5 really quick points to go over just real quick before the video starts. First off, about the video submission form, there is now a picture submission form if you find a bus that is unusually spec'd or beautifully spec'd, or you just found something completely odd. Whatever it is bus related that you find that you think I need to see, go ahead and put it in the picture submission form, which is in the video request form, where the second half of this point comes in. If you have anything for bust up for sale or lots of lots, go ahead and throw it in there, and it might just be featured eventually. Second off, did you ask about this mug? You did? Oh my goodness, thank you so much for asking. My wonderful uncle and cousin, they got me this mug. I don't know if you've seen this before, but I just need to share this with you guys. Look at this. It's a T3. It has my name on it. The Bluebird logo is blocked out. And you know, this mug is just about perfect, except for the fact that it has the back of an HDX instead of the back of a T3 or the front of an HDX. And yeah, so they told me that they were looking for a StarCraft Dodge one, but couldn't find it. But I guess this will do. So, yeah, there's that. Good job to whoever made that mug. Really knocked it out of the park. If you want one, I'm sure you can find it on Etsy. Okay, seriously, thank you guys. I know you're watching and I do appreciate it. But let's get into bust up for sale now. Let's start off with a submission from Andrew, who submitted this a little while back. We are taking a look at a 1962 Superior Ford in Oklahoma. The description says 62 Ford school bus, last tagged in 89 and hasn't ran in years. Would make a killer tiny home on wheels. Clean title. Buyer will have to arrange for pickup. Take a look at it. This thing has certainly been sitting in that same exact location for probably 20 years at least, if not longer than that. And it has certainly seen better days, but it doesn't look to be in completely awful condition. I've seen buses newer than this in a lot worse shape after just sitting around. Part of the driver's window appears to be shattered, but it looks like the rest of the glass is in pretty good shape, and again, this is really surprising considering the age. So it does look like all the glass is there, and the other thing too is that for the most part, I'm not saying it's perfect, but for the most part, the paint appears to have held up pretty well over time. I mean, this is a 60-year-old school bus, 60 years old. Gosh, that's old. But it's just, it's held up surprisingly well. There is a cracked turn signal, but again, the glass on the back and the passenger side all appears to be there. There is our Superior emblem, thankfully still on the bus. Honestly, it just kind of looks like the front portion of the roof on both sides and the door right here are the worst paint spots, and it's not even that bad. I'm surprised that this bus is as good as it is. And then one thing I failed to mention, it looks like all of the seats were taken out and it's just been used as storage. But for a 60-year-old school bus, that's not in bad shape. Of course, it would definitely need a lot of work to get it running again and to get any other things replaced. So it's not really worth all that much. It's an extremely cool piece of history right there. $1,500. It's probably just being used as storage right now, or is unfortunately scrapped. But let's move on. All right, here's another older submission. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, but just found it on the list again. This is from Busy Bus Hunter on Flickr. This thing is so cool. It's a 1986 Thomas International that was converted into a tow truck. Here's the back of the bus. I don't really know what to say about tow trucks, so there's that. There's a better view of the little hitch back there. There's some rust on the bus right there, and a little bit on the side. You can see there is a hole right here. And it is on an S1800 chassis. You can also see kind of a crack in the hood right there. Here's the driver's area of the tow bus. I guess that's what we'll call it, the tow bus. That's a pretty typical driver's area of that era. 109,000 miles on it. There's the control panel. There's the shifter. I believe that's the same shifter that is in John's bus right now, if I'm not mistaken. There's the 3 pedals. You can see that there's also air brakes on this bus. That's not a great underside of the bus. It's definitely from New York. And there is the build plate, manufactured in August of '86. $2,700. This thing is super unique. I mean, you don't see school buses converted into tow trucks like this. I just think it's super cool and just wanted to share that. The next submission comes from Noah, Texarkana ISD Rigs of Rods, and in the notes of this he said, it's like the StarCraft Dodge. Well then, why did you submit it? Couple notes before we take a look at this bus. It's a 1995 GM with 68,000 miles on it. And here is the bus. It's a Thomas Minotour with a GM HD chassis. You know, he said it looks like a StarCraft Dodge, but I honestly kind of like these. I personally think that this just looks a lot better than other Minotours of that era, just because the HD chassis just gives it like a beefier look, like a bigger school bus look. Like I said, I've always enjoyed these. This is a great find right here because you don't see too many of these. Here's the back side of the bus. You can see we are missing a left turning signal and some covers and lights right there. There's the back passenger side of the bus. It appears that there are some dents in here as well. And the front of the bus, I think there was also a crossing gate at one point, but that appears to be removed. There's a quick look at the engine right there. The driver's area from the outside, 68,819 miles. The interior is unfortunately gutted. Just looking over towards the door, kind of the control area right here. And the build-a-plate, manufactured by Thomas in February of 95 in Canada. It sold for $900, which if that runs and it didn't have any problems, that is a really good price for that bus. Obviously, I'm sure that there were some problems and unfortunately the seats were taken out, but I would love the opportunity to own a bus like that. Like I said, I've always been a fan of that HD chassis. It just makes it look more like an actual school bus to me. The next one we're taking a look at is a 1995 Thomas Vista. Now, I'm sure a great majority of you are already going to know that this came from North Carolina, but if you didn't, now you do. There's a look at the front of the bus. A view of the passenger side. The stop sign was removed. Here's the interior of the bus. It doesn't look to be in terrible shape. It definitely needs to be cleaned up though. There is the driver's area, one of the emergency exits. Here's the back of the bus looking forward, and it appears that there are some cameras in the bus as well. Yep, that's definitely a camera next to the fan. And there is the back of the bus. Great for the schooly bus travel life, and for 2022, live your life and travel. So first off, 1995 International School Bus, owned, runs, and drives, so that's a good start. Extremely cheap insurance, $750 a month. Oh my gosh, sign me up. Only 32,000 miles, fully mechanical, and an automatic Allison transmission. Great tread on the tires. Camera security system installed inside the bus, which is a bonus. And the title is in hand and ready to go. I'm selling the bus to start a new chapter in my life. This bus is for your story. You know, he makes a pretty good argument. This bus is for my story because I do need a bus in my life. Anyone want to help me out here? Now, I don't need a Vista. That's later on down the road. I need to find something, maybe something a little bit better than a Vista. Who knows what that is, but not right now. Next up, we are headed to Hartford, Connecticut, and I think that I was going to show this bus off before in a previous episode. I very well could have already, but I don't think I did. I think I just lost the link or something, or it expired. Let's read the description first. It's a Ford with a V8. Doesn't run and hasn't ran in a long time, and you're going to see that here in a minute. It's been used for storage and we don't need it anymore. I believe it's from the 70s, but we aren't sure. And yes, this would be from the 70s. The story behind it is that my grandfather worked for the bus company as a bus inspector. When the bus was retired from service, he bought it and drove it home. It was then parked and used for storage. It has a good look but needs a lot of work. Good for parts or restoration. Also good for storage or tiny home project. Take a look at this Ford Wayne right here. I mean, this is again another beautiful piece of history, even though this one is in much worse condition than that first bus we were looking at. So I think that this bus came from New York. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure one of the New York people can confirm this for me in the comments. One thing of note here, take a look at how low the stop sign is. I'm pretty positive that was a thing in New York for a while. Again, please confirm or deny me, New York enthusiasts in the comments, because I know there's a lot of you. Here's the driver's side of the bus. Here's the front passenger side, and the stop sign, which has definitely seen better days. One last one just for fun. It's a 2009 Vision. It's got a Cat C7 and 107,000 miles on it. I mean, come on, look at this thing. This is a 4x4 Bluebird Vision. Come on. Here's the driver's side of the bus. We can see that this is a California bus based off of the single rear stop sign and side emergency exit door. Here's the back of the bus. We can see that this appears to be repainted, or this has just been extremely faded. We can also see that there are LED lights and G2 warning lights as well. Up front, we also have G2 warning lights, LED turn signals, and there's some steps because this is an unusually large bus. Here is another view of the bus. Yet another view. Take a look at the air horns up there. There's a different view of the back. Here's what you would see stepping into the bus. The driver's area. Control panels. Here's to the right of the driver. I believe that would be the parking brake, but I could be wrong on that. There's a couple switches. Take a look at how nicely spec'd this is. Not only are there speakers and cameras and AC, but there is also overhead storage and seatbelts throughout the bus. There's the front look into the back. The amount of space between the tire and the hood is ridiculous. There's the back look into the front. There's a look at the other AC unit. Part of the underside of the bus. A little more of the underside. It has a price tag of $35,000 on it, and that, I mean, it kind of makes sense. This is for someone really, really specific. This, I have no doubt in my mind, will be bought by someone who wants to convert this into a schoolie and go off-roading on it. Either way, it's just not something that you see every day. I thought it was super cool just because of that. I would love to take a ride on that bus or drive it or whatever on the route that it goes on. I am so curious about that. And that's it. And I gotta admit, I honestly thought this was kind of an aftermarket thing at first. So let's do a real quick episode of lots within this. Just real quick, I promise. So first off, I went to the district's website to see if I could find like an address for their transportation department or anything. And you can see right here on the front, there is a picture of this bus, 407, and this is also 407. So that got my hopes up a little bit. So I found the school, and while I wasn't able to find that Vision in there, I was able to find a A3RE and this FS65 that is spec'd the exact same way. If you take a look around, obviously it's pretty mountainous terrain. I'm sure that they are going off-road a lot because they are pretty much in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, there's not a whole lot around in some of these roads. I'm sure that they have to go off to like pick up passengers, and that's probably why they did it. Alright, and that is going to do it for this episode of Bus Stuff for Sale. And like always, let me know in the comments below which one of these you would buy if you had the available resources. We had the Superior Ford, we had the GM Minotour, we had the Vista, that old Ford Wayne, we had the Thomas International tow truck, and we of course had that 4x4 Vision. Which one would you buy? Alright, if it was me, I think I might go for that Vision. It's just, it's so cool. It just to be a 4x4 school bus, you could take that thing anywhere. And even if you don't take it anywhere, it is definitely an eye turner. Regardless, make sure you let me know. And don't forget that if you have something you want to submit for Bus Stuff for Sale, lots, or if you want to submit a picture, which you can now do, put it in the video request form in the description of any one of my videos, and I will take a look at it. So yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Always do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe right down here. It's a magical red button that says you are now subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it down, care where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or the 4x4 when I eventually take this bus. It is going to collapse and then the bus will blow up or something. I don't know. And make sure you also share this video with a friend. Show it to your mom. Show it to your dad. Show it to a guy on a random street. I don't care. Don't let anything happen to you. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. And thanks for watching.